Hi there, I'm Andre from BINQ Doors and Windows here at the Melbourne Home Show. I'd like to take you on a tour of our stand. Over here we've got our flagship product, which is the lift and slide door system. As you can see, what we have here is a door that's 2.7 meters by 5 meters, and that isn't even the largest that we can do. So it's a representation of the large format doors and windows that we specialize in. This particular door system here is about, well, this moving panel is about 180 to 200 kilos, and it opens really with minimal effort. As you can see there, it just glides open, one-hand operation into the full open position, and likewise into the closed position. So with this door system, it does exactly what its name suggests. It lifts and then slides. So in the lock position, the door sits down on the gaskets where everything is compressed and all the gaskets are working. When you want to slide it, you rotate the handle nice and easy, and the door actually lifts up about 10 millimeters, disengages all the gaskets, and that's what allows it to slide freely. In the lock position, it will lock in multiple points. Over here on the right-hand side here, we see the locking point there, and we also see a locking point over here and a further locking point on the sill. So it's a very secure system. It's a very airtight system. We've had it tested, and it tested fantastically well, way above the industry requirements. On the sill, you can see here we have a 15 millimeter bottom running rail. We can also offer a 5 millimeter running rail, which allows us to achieve a very seamless transition from the internal house space to the external. And it also is a fantastic option for mobility access. All of our lift slide doors are fitted with double glazing, argon-filled pockets. As you can see in here, we've got the spacer in here, and that is a 28 millimeter glazing unit. So it's a serious double glazing unit. It's not a minimum standard, if you like. And what that does is it again, compared to the industry standard in double glazing, this performs even better. In addition to that, as a standard, we like to include a high-performing glass version of the double glazing, and we achieve that by supplying what's called a low-E glass. And basically what that does is it helps to retain the heat inside the house a lot better than clear glass does. Then in the same suite of doors and windows, we have our entry door, or a hinge door. And this particular door operates simply with a key, so there's no need for a conventional lever handle. And it's a simple operation, like that. Opens up nice and easy. And to lock it, again, it's a simple rotation of the key that is fully locked. Now, the real beauty of this door is, if I can get my friend to follow me here with the camera. What I'll show you here is we've got a multi-point locking door system. So you can see over here we have a locking point with opposing locks. So it's near impossible to jimmy open or lift free. We've got a locking point in the middle and a locking point at the bottom, and all of that is opened and closed with the key. So the options are you can basically leave it as is, or you can fit a decorative pull handle to suit your decor, basically. The hinges on the door are they're a heavy-duty German hinge. These hinges will take 120 kilos worth of door. To put that into perspective, this door is about 60 to 70 kilos. So we like to over-engineer to make sure that our products, when they're installed, they operate the way they the way they do on day one for the entire life of the door. The gasket on this door system is as you can see, is a rubber gasket, and it wraps around the entire perimeter of the door without any gaps in the gasket. Now that's a very, very important aspect of what we do, because the conventional design is to have the gasket on the frame over here, for example, and then along the bottom and the perimeter. The problem with that is there's always a gap in the gaskets because they're 4 separate pieces of gasket. This is one piece of gasket, wraps around, no breaks in the gasket. So that allows it to seal up very, very tight. Over here we have the tilt and turn window system. Again, it does exactly what it suggests, which is from the lock position, we rotate 90 degrees and the window turns in. That gives you full access to maintain the window from the inside of the house. So you can wipe it down, clean it, clean the glass, very easy to maintain. 90 degrees further and the window tilts in. Now, by tilting in that way, it basically means that if it's raining outside, you're not going to get any of the water that comes in. Because it tilts from the top, the warm, stale air ventilates through the top, and the cool, fresh air comes in through the sides, providing a really good natural ventilating system. And the research shows, and my personal experience shows from having these in my house, that 99% of the time these windows are in the tilt position, and they really are only opened in for maintenance. While I've got it opened, I will show you the mechanisms that we're using. The hardware wraps around the entire perimeter of the sash, providing for a multi-point locking system. So you've got locking points here, on the bottom, and along the hinge side and on the top. And that matches up to the locking points in the frame where you can see them more clearly. So locking point there, 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 and there. So it literally locks around the entire perimeter of the frame, as it should, because what that means is that that sash is never going to move out of place. It's not going to bow or twist or warp. It will perform and function the way it does on day one for the entire life of the window. From a sealing point of view and a thermal performance point of view, again, we've got the rubber gasket that wraps around the perimeter of the sash without any gaps in the gasket. We fit a secondary gasket also around the perimeter. That's primarily for acoustic performance, but has the added benefit of providing effectively a chamber between the two, which then gives us better thermal performance and obviously sound performance. And operation, very, very simple. Okay, so another great product we've got here is the retractable screen. Which basically allows us to screen up the large format sliding doors in a single screen up to 4.5 meter span. And functions fantastically well, very easy, and tucks away into almost nothing. So it's very unintrusive. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you here at the Melbourne Home Show. But if you can't make it, please come and visit us at our showroom in Chelsea Heights.